The Genesis GV70 just came out last year for 2022, and it earned tons and tons of accolades with journalists left, right, and center praising it to high heaven. Personally, I felt that it wasn't quite for me. There were a few things when I spent the week with it that I couldn't quite get past, but that is all water under the bridge now because we've got a new model. Well, sort of. This is the Electrified GV70, and I have to admit it is winning me over with this electric powertrain and a few significant tweaks that I feel really set it apart from last year's GV70. Today, I'm going to show you what I think Genesis got right about this new electric luxury crossover, and a few things that I don't love as well, hopefully give you a sense of what it might be like if you were to live with this vehicle. That's what we're here for. Please subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Looks-wise, this will be familiar because it looks exactly like the gas-powered GV70. Unlike its cousin, the GV60, that other electric Genesis SUV, this is not built on a dedicated ground-up electric vehicle platform. This is exactly what Genesis says it is, GV70 with an electric powertrain, an electrified GV70. Now, this is a really sharp-looking crossover. It's obvious they're going for a premium luxury look with this big shield-shaped grille, the really sleek, skinny headlight strips, the swoop of the creases along the sides, even the choice to stick with round wheel arches. They're not trying to convey ruggedness or toughness. They're clearly going for a high-end, expensive look. Now, I do think there are a few misses here. For example, these 20-inch wheels feel overstyled to me. I like the 5-spoke design, but there's too much going on within the spokes, and it doesn't feel like a fit to me with the actual vehicle's design language. This sort of fin here in the bodywork interrupts the flow of the windows in kind of an awkward way, I think. I'm not wild about that. I don't love how the chrome ends so abruptly, and I'm not really clear on why it doesn't completely encompass the windows. But I will say, I think this silver color mitigates the effect of that, and actually, I feel like this is a great color. It really complements this form. I think it's the best choice for this vehicle. Now, there are only 4 options. Weirdly, all of them are listed as extra cost. You've got black, silver, or gray for $575, or matte gray for $1,500. That's it. Whereas the gas-powered GV70 has 12 color choices. The electrified GV70 is available in 2 trims, or what Genesis calls packages, Advanced and Prestige. The GV70 gas-powered has 4 trims, but this only has the 2 higher ones, so clearly Genesis is positioning this electric powertrain as the more premium option. We have the Prestige trim today, so that's the top one, fully equipped. Obviously, we have the glacier white and copper interior, and because this is Prestige, we've got Napa leather. Regular old leather is standard in the GV70 electrified. There's obviously a huge emphasis on oval shapes in here, and in fact, they've gone ahead and kind of artificially scrunched all the controls in here to adhere to that design direction. Feels a little contrived, but it does also make for a nice open space. Now, I have to say, I really like that these oval accents on the side of the center console and inside the doors have this aluminum sort of brushed metal finish, because the tacky fake carbon fiber was one of my major beefs with the Sport Prestige trim of the gas-powered GV70 that I drove last year. Another thing you're going to notice, we don't have the floating console or the storage pass-through here like we do in the GV60. That's because that vehicle is on a skateboard-style EV platform, and this is not, so we're not working with a flat floor. We've got heated and ventilated front seats with 4-way power-adjustable lumbar support. The driver's side also has power cushion extension, power bolsters, and ergo motion. That is all standard, but heated rear seats and the heated steering wheel are features of the Prestige trim. The electrified GV70 has 2 160 kilowatt electric motors, one for the front and one for the back, which gives it standard all-wheel drive, just like its gas-powered counterpart. It's got a 77.4 kilowatt hour battery, it makes 429 horsepower normally, but if you use this boost mode, which is upside down, if you use this boost mode button on the steering wheel, that will get you 483 horsepower for 10 seconds. Maximum torque is 516 pound-feet. You can tow up to 3,500 pounds, and it has an official electric range of 236 miles, although right now it's telling me I've got 253, so that varies with the conditions. You can use the steering wheel paddles to adjust the regenerative braking, so turn it all the way down if you don't like it, turn it all the way up if you want a one-pedal driving experience, or adjust them on the fly depending on the conditions and the traffic. The electronically controlled suspension has a road preview feature, so that uses the front camera and the vehicle sensors to look ahead and adjust to the road as you progress down it. Eco mode limits the power and defaults to rear-wheel drive, but if you're one of those people who really feels like all-wheel drive is essential, not to worry, the system is smart enough to switch back to it when needed, when the temperature drops, when you're on a slope, or when you have slippery road conditions. Speaking of smart, comfort mode will automatically transition between two-wheel and all-wheel drive depending on the conditions, and then sport mode uses all-wheel drive. It will also make the vehicle more responsive and it'll give you a heavier steering feel. Like a lot of electric vehicles, this has great acceleration. It's certainly faster and more powerful than its gas-powered counterpart, which makes 300 to 375 horsepower depending on your engine choice. But it's not just about speed. I would argue that this also has better driving dynamics. I was personally not super impressed by the 2022 Genesis GV70. I just really did not think it was refined enough for a luxury vehicle. But this to me feels like they've got it figured out. Maybe it just makes more sense as an EV. It's quiet, it's fast, it's engaging to drive. It's really everything that you would want it to be. The one complaint I have might be that the brakes can feel a little inconsistent, switching between the regenerative braking and the regular old traditional pedal braking. But if you're driving this every day and you're not hopping between different vehicle models like I am, that's going to feel second nature very quickly. The Electrified GV70 comes standard with this 14.5-inch infotainment display with the premium navigation system, and the advanced trim has an 8.8-inch driver information display with analog gauges, but we have Prestige today, which means that we have the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster. Now, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Bluetooth, those are all standard as you would expect, but CarPlay and Android Auto are wired only, not wireless. And for me, that makes the standard wireless charging pad irrelevant. I'm just always going to have my phone plugged in, so I'm never going to use that. A passenger could make use of it if they wanted to, only though if they don't need visual access to their phone, because using the wireless charging pad requires angling it away from you in this little cubby. This is useful if you want to stow away your cords and your charging phone. For the way I operate, it just doesn't work. The Prestige trim gets the Lexicon Premium audio system and active noise control, and then all electrified GV70s get Genesis Digital Key, Genesis Connected Services, the fingerprint authentication system, and, like many EVs, vehicle-to-load charging capability. The Genesis GV70 earned a 2022 Top Safety Pick Plus from the IIHS, which is very promising for the electrified version. The head-up display only comes as part of the Prestige package, but everything else is standard. That includes forward collision avoidance, rear cross-traffic collision avoidance, blind spot monitoring and collision avoidance, lane keeping, lane following, adaptive cruise control, driver attention warning, the list goes on. Other standard features include Highway Driving Assist 2, that's Hyundai and Genesis's Level 2 semi-autonomous driving experience. And then you also get Surround View Monitor, Advanced Rear Occupant Alert, Safe Exit Assist, and Remote Smart Parking Assist. And before we get into pricing, it is worth a quick reminder that there's effectively no base trim for the electrified GV70. So while the gas version starts under $45,000 with the base powertrain and right around $55,000 with the V6, the electrified version is in a different sphere. And that's really no surprise. It's not a secret that EVs at this moment in time command a premium. What's interesting to note then is that the Sport Advanced trim of the gas-powered version is only about $5,500 lower than the advanced trim of the electrified version. So for 2023, the Genesis Electrified GV70 starts at $65,850. We can add $6,800 for the Prestige trim, $1,125 for the destination fee, and of course the $575 for the color, bringing our as-tested price to $74,350. Whenever we talk about the Korean automakers, we do have to mention that Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis have some of the best warranties available. And the electrified GV70 really benefits from that with the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 5-year, 60,000-mile limited warranty, and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary scheduled maintenance, which the website points out does include oil changes. I think that's adorable. It's probably just boilerplate text from elsewhere, but if you need an oil change for your electrified GV70, Genesis will take care of it. Seriously though, it is very much worth noting that especially in the luxury space where Genesis plays, this is very competitive. Of course, there are other fully electric luxury SUVs and crossovers out there, and some of them, like the Genesis GV70 for example, this one's cousin, are built on dedicated ground-up battery electric vehicle platforms. Some also have much longer electric ranges, like the Cadillac Lyriq and the Tesla Model X. And then again, some, like the Mercedes EQB, the Jaguar I-Pace, and the all-new Lexus RZ, have very comparable ranges. Now, this is a really exciting time to be shopping for an EV, or for any vehicle for that matter. There are not only tons of new models, but also even whole new automakers to consider. It is a lot, but we're here for you. We get to spend a week with each of these new cars, trucks, and SUVs, and we can let you know what they're like to live with. We've got a full library of video reviews here on YouTube, full written reviews over at CarGurus.com. Check it out, we've got all the data that you need in your shopping journey. Please subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing, and check back soon because we'll be driving something else next week.